No one saw this coming. Just days after turning 39, Melody Shari shocked fans by walking into a hospital room, not alone, but with her children, to visit none other than Martell Holt, the same Martell whose messy public split from Melody left fans stunned and divided. Why now? Why bring the kids? And what did she reveal to fans afterward that's got social media buzzing like never before? You won't believe what really went down in that hospital room. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the most shocking, trending, and controversial stories in reality TV and celebrity culture. Today's video dives deep into a moment no one expected. Melody Shari, just after celebrating her 39th birthday, walking into a hospital to visit her ex-husband, Martell Holt, alongside their children. Now, for those of you who followed Love and Marriage, Huntsville, you know the history between Melody and Martell isn't just messy, it's explosive. From the cheating scandals to the custody battles and emotional interviews, their breakup was one of the most talked about dramas on reality television. So when Melody showed up at Martell's hospital bedside, especially with the kids, it raised major questions. What happened to Martell that landed him in the hospital? Was this a one-time act of compassion or the beginning of something more? And what did Melody share with fans afterward that's got everyone talking? In this video, we'll break it all down, from the timeline of Martell's health scare to what sources close to the family are saying, to the fan theories that are flooding the internet. Trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end, because the last detail Melody dropped may change everything we thought we knew about their relationship. So grab your tea because we're about to serve it piping hot. Let's get into it. When the news first broke that Martell Holt had been hospitalized, fans were caught off guard. Known for his strong, almost invincible presence on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Martell had never shown signs of health trouble on camera. But late last week, rumors began swirling online. First a few cryptic posts on Instagram stories, then an unconfirmed report from a local Alabama gossip page claiming Martell had been rushed to the emergency room due to a sudden medical incident. At first, details were scarce. Some speculated it was stress-related. After all, Martell has been under immense pressure lately. Between his ongoing custody battle with Melody, financial strain, business setbacks, and the recent social media backlash over his rumored dating life, it's not a stretch to believe that all of it took a toll. Others speculated it could be related to overexertion. Martell has been promoting fitness-related ventures and staying physically active. But it wasn't until Melody Shari herself took to social media that the rumors truly exploded. On her Instagram Live, Melody appeared calm but serious. Fans immediately noticed the lack of glam and the somber tone in her voice. "Sometimes," she began, "you gotta put pride and pain aside when your kid's father is in a vulnerable state. At the end of the day, there are little people watching." That was the first confirmation that Martell was indeed hospitalized, and not just that. Melody had visited him. What shocked fans even more, she wasn't alone. She had brought all 4 of their children with her. Now, we all remember the emotional toll the divorce took on those kids. From televised arguments to public allegations, it wasn't easy. So the fact that Melody chose to take them into a hospital room to see their father, that's big. It suggests this wasn't a petty moment or an obligation. It was a decision made from a place of emotional maturity, maybe even healing. Photos later surfaced, likely leaked by someone close to the family, showing Martell in a hospital bed, looking alert but weak. Standing near him was Melody, arms folded, wearing a neutral-toned hoodie, and their kids, cautiously smiling. The image alone stirred thousands of comments online. Some fans praised her for putting the kids first. Others questioned her motives. Was this a PR move? A soft launch of reconciliation? And just as social media started buzzing, Melody went live again, this time hinting that forgiveness doesn't always mean reunion, but it does mean growth. So what exactly happened in that hospital room? Why now? And what pushed Melody to make this very public move? Stay tuned, because in the next section, we're breaking down the real reason behind Martell's hospitalization and why it's more serious than anyone thought. As speculation ran wild online, fans and bloggers scrambled to uncover the real reason behind Martell Holt's sudden hospitalization. While neither Martell nor his team initially released an official statement, insider reports and carefully dropped clues began painting a clearer and more alarming picture. According to sources close to the situation, Martell had been experiencing chest discomfort and shortness of breath for several days prior to his hospitalization. He reportedly brushed off the symptoms as stress and fatigue. But on the morning of his hospital admission, he collapsed at home while preparing to take a phone call related to a custody hearing. Emergency services were called, and Martell was transported to a Birmingham area hospital, where doctors diagnosed him with a cardiovascular condition, possibly early signs of heart disease. While the exact diagnosis remains confidential, sources say he was kept for observation due to abnormal heart rhythms and high blood pressure, likely worsened by prolonged stress and lack of rest. And if you've followed Martell's life over the past few years, the stress levels are no mystery. Between filming a hit reality show, being constantly scrutinized by the public, and enduring a very public breakup, he's been under the kind of pressure most people never experience in a lifetime. Let's not forget the personal scandals. His highly publicized affair and resulting child outside of his marriage with Melody became tabloid fuel, and while he's made attempts at co-parenting and rebuilding his reputation, it's been a rocky road filled with legal battles, heated interviews, and more recently, silence. Martell had been noticeably quiet on social media in the weeks leading up to his health scare, prompting many to wonder if something was going on behind the scenes. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. An insider who chose to remain anonymous but claims to work with the production crew of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, shared that Martell was supposed to return to filming later that week, but had pulled out abruptly. He said he wasn't feeling well, the source noted, but we didn't realize it was that serious. He looked tired, yes, but not sick. None of us expected him to end up in a hospital bed. And perhaps that's the most chilling part, how fast things escalated. Stress-induced medical episodes can hit hard, especially when ignored. In Martell's case, what could have been managed with early intervention turned into a full-blown medical crisis. And while many might want to blame lifestyle, choices, or karma, the truth is more complex. Fame, scrutiny, emotional trauma, these things build up. They eat at your mental and physical health until the body can no longer hold up the image of strength. So why did Melody visit him? Well, according to her own words, no matter what happened between us, he's still their father, and he's still a human being who deserves compassion. That statement alone sent a powerful message, not just to Martell, but to the thousands of fans and co-parents who follow their journey. Still, Melody's visit wasn't just an act of kindness, it was intentional. Sources close to her say that upon hearing about Martell's health scare, she hesitated at first. There were questions. Should she bring the kids? Should she go at all? But ultimately, she chose to show up. And just when fans began to speculate, this might be a step toward reconciliation, Melody dropped another bombshell. In a private message leaked by a fan account, Melody allegedly told a friend, "This wasn't about us. It was about showing our children what strength, empathy, and forgiveness really look like. That doesn't mean I'm walking back into the fire." So was this visit a one-time gesture? Or is something deeper brewing beneath the surface? As word spread like wildfire that Melody and the kids had visited Martell in the hospital, all eyes turned to his response. After all, for years, Martell Holt has been portrayed as the prideful, emotionally guarded, and sometimes even arrogant ex-husband who found himself on the receiving end of relentless public criticism. But what happened after the hospital visit shocked even his harshest critics. Let's start with what we know. Just 24 hours after Melody's live video and the leaked photo of the hospital room went viral, Martell broke his silence, not through a traditional post, but via a deeply personal Instagram story video. He appeared in a hospital gown, propped up in bed, visibly tired but introspective. And for the first time in a long while, he looked vulnerable. His voice was softer, his words more measured. "Sometimes God puts you in a place where you have to sit down and listen," he began. "Today wasn't promised. Yesterday wasn't promised. But seeing my kids walk through that door, man, that was everything." He didn't mention Melody by name right away, but the emotion in his voice told the whole story. He went on to say, "I've made a lot of mistakes. I've hurt people I loved, and I'm still working through the consequences of that, but I'm thankful for second chances, not just in life, but in love and in learning how to be a better man." Let that sink in. Second chances in love? That one line sent fans into a frenzy. Was Martell hinting at a possible reconciliation? Or was he just expressing gratitude for the visit and the emotional closure it may have brought? Now, here's where things take a more complex turn. A day later, Martell posted a black and white photo of him holding his youngest son's hand from the hospital bed, captioned, No cameras, no fame, just family. I'm still here for them. The post received over 80,000 likes in a matter of hours, with comments pouring in from fans, castmates, and even celebrities. But the most talked about moment came when Martell went live unexpectedly and addressed the elephant in the room. I'm not perfect. I know I've made decisions that disappointed a lot of people, especially my ex-wife. But let me say this. Seeing Melody in that room, with the kids, reminded me that despite everything, there's still respect. And maybe that's where healing begins. Respect. Healing. Words we haven't heard from Martell in a long time. But not everyone is convinced. Some fans believe Martell's entire response was a calculated PR move, aimed at regaining public sympathy and repairing his brand. They point to the perfectly timed photo drops, the sudden vulnerability, and the fact that love and marriage. Huntsville is in the middle of promotional buzz for its next season. Is Martell trying to pivot his public image? Is he setting the stage for a redemption arc? A well-known reality TV blogger posted, "Martell is doing what Martell does, playing the game. He's smart, and he knows that this moment, this health scare, this family reunion, it's all good optics, but don't forget the past." Still, others are more forgiving. Some fans commented, "People grow. Maybe this was the wake-up call he needed. Maybe this is the beginning of something better." There's also another theory quietly gaining traction. Is Martell trying to win Melody back? One source close to the Holt family revealed anonymously, Martell has been reaching out more often. He's been trying to show he's changed. This hospital incident just gave him an unexpected opening to show that side publicly. Of course, it's important to remember that Melody has made it clear. She's moved on. Her music, business ventures, and empowering messages to women suggest she's no longer emotionally tied to the man she once called her husband. But Martell's reaction, his raw, open, and perhaps strategic display of regret, has cracked open a new layer in their story. Whether it's real growth or just a well-played media moment, one thing is for certain. Martell Holt is rewriting his narrative. But will Melody buy into it? And more importantly, should she? Behind the headlines, Instagram lives, and public speculation lies the real heart of this story. The children. Because while fans and bloggers dissect every detail of Melody and Martell's dynamic, 4 young lives are absorbing every moment, both seen and unseen. Melody and Martell Holt share 4 children, Mariah, Martell II, Malaya, and Mulaney. They've grown up in front of cameras, often witnessing their parents' highs and lows play out not just at home, but on national television. From the early seasons of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, viewers saw their sweet family moments, picnics, school events, family dinners, slowly dissolve into a battlefield of arguments, betrayal, and tension. Now, imagine what it must have meant for those children to walk into that hospital room, to see their father, once a larger-than-life figure, hooked up to monitors, weak, quiet, and perhaps scared. Sources say that when the children entered the room, there was a pause. No tears, just silence. It wasn't awkwardness, it was weight. The weight of everything unspoken between a father and his kids. Melody reportedly prepped the children beforehand, reminding them to show love, not fear, and to bring light to the room. She even allowed them to create get-well cards filled with crayon hearts and messages like, "We love you, Daddy," and "Come home soon." A close family friend who witnessed the reunion shared, "You could see the shift in Martell the moment they walked in. His eyes welled up. He reached out for their hands. It was like the old Martell returned, the father, not the reality star." And that's something people often forget. These kids aren't following gossip blogs. They're not calculating PR strategies. They just want love, consistency, and reassurance. And for a few brief moments in that hospital room, that's exactly what they got. But let's not sugarcoat it. These children have been through emotional turbulence. In past seasons, Mariah has voiced confusion about why mommy and daddy don't live together anymore. Martell II, trying to emulate his father, once mimicked Martell's tone in an argument on camera. These aren't just reality TV moments. They're glimpses into the emotional scars that children of divorce and public scandal often carry. Experts in child psychology often stress the importance of stability and transparency when co-parenting post-divorce, and it seems Melody has taken this seriously. Despite everything Martell put her through, the betrayal, the public embarrassment, the ongoing court battles, she's consistently shown that she's prioritizing her children's emotional well-being. By bringing them to see their father in a vulnerable moment, she gave them something incredibly valuable: empathy. But the question remains, will this moment of unity last? Some insiders say that since the visit, the children have been more emotionally expressive, asking to call their father more often, drawing pictures of the whole family together, even telling teachers and friends that Daddy's getting better. Others, however, fear that this one-off reunion might create false hope, that the children, seeing their parents in the same room again, speaking softly, sharing a moment, might dream of a reconciliation that isn't coming. And for children, unrealistic hope can sometimes be more damaging than the truth. Melody seems aware of this tightrope. In a now-deleted IG story, she reportedly addressed the visit again. "I want my kids to love both of their parents. That doesn't mean I'm going to lie to them, but it does mean I'll protect them from unnecessary pain." One thing is clear: the kids were at the center of this moment, not the drama. But here's where the emotional tension deepens. Just days after the visit, one of the kids reportedly asked Melody, "Are we all going to live together again one day?" A simple question from a child's heart, and one that doesn't have a simple answer. So was this hospital visit the beginning of a new chapter for this fractured family? Or will it go down as a brief, beautiful moment in an otherwise complicated story?